Parker, Parker, Parker.
Oh man, what did I get myself into here?
I always start these off by asking what people do for a living, and I realized we were just chatting. I haven't asked you what you do in a video. I don't know how.
Fair.
So what do you do?
I make YouTube videos about cars.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I know.
We do the exact same thing, except yours is vertical, mine's horizontal.
Yours pays the big bucks. Mine doesn't.
I don't know about that, but
what's it like being like a long form YouTube creator? Like, so you have the bank of videos.
Yeah.
That roll.
I like it. I mean, that's just I started on YouTube 11 years ago, so that's just it feels normal to me versus this new age vertical. It actually kind of bums me out at first because it was like all this footage that I have is now useless on this format.
Do you do zooms on it? Like, do you do like in post? You know, people
I've tried, but it always looks kind of weird.
But you know what's nice though, and I've chatted with other like long form YouTubers, like you have this like bank of thousands. How many videos have you made?
I have 1,900 on my YouTube channel.
So like in perpetuity, is that just like you could literally quit YouTube tomorrow and like you will just bankroll like old videos?
Pretty much.
Dude, that's that's having like, it's nice having like a library. But are you ever worried that like YouTube, like, well, I don't think it's going to shut down. Is that ever like a concern of yours?
So it did in the beginning, and especially like with my parents. I was going to college. I got an engineering degree, and like midway through my midway through my channel started blowing up. I went to University of Michigan, mechanical engineering, and
what the fuck?
they were like, yeah, YouTube could just end tomorrow, so you should probably just not do YouTube. And actually, my mom was like, you should do YouTube. My dad was like, absolutely not. You should get a normal job.
Same with my parents.
Yeah, that's funny.
The mom is like...
So in the beginning, I did take that to heart and was like, yeah, this could end. But now I feel like YouTube is the only platform that doesn't fuck around and change the rules out of nowhere. Yeah. Like Facebook, that Reels bonus was the coolest thing.
Oh, you were in on that too.
Oh, yeah.
What was yours? Like 30,
it was like 39,600 a month or something.
You could max
nearly guaranteed every month. Post some short videos, and then they just go, nope.
Yeah. Well, at the beginning, it was 50 million views, for me at least, and you get $35,000.
Yeah.
And then they started upping it a little more. It was like I could get up to like 38,000, 39,000. It was like mystery views.
Yeah.
And that was like, for what, like 8 months, 7 months?
Yeah, maybe almost a year.
That
something
was
like
crazy.
that. That was the best. That felt like free money.
I didn't know you were on that too.
Yeah,
That was free money. Yeah.
But that, to me, reminded me that like things can change really fast on social media, because YouTube hadn't had any changes in the longest time. If anything, the ad rates have gotten better and better over time. Yeah, and they've never just eliminated a monetization form. And Facebook just said like,
Were you around for the adpocalypse kind of situation? But that didn't affect you.
It didn't affect me.
Because you weren't making like anything like racy. It was just like
I wasn't intense with the swearing and didn't have any like weapons content. Or the people who got really screwed were like people who reviewed guns.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're literally just like out of a. I mean, like TikTok, you can't even blink. I mean, what do you think of TikTok in general? Actually,
I probably use it the second most of any app.
If you could rank, actually, I'm curious. If you could rank social media platforms, everything included, money wise, like reliability, like
I would say YouTube pays the most, probably going to stay around the longest, and I probably watch it the most. TikTok, most addictive, best like the For You page is probably the best algorithm that's ever been invented. I feel like you scroll through it and you're like, oh yeah, I kind of like this stuff. Versus YouTube, you're either watching your subscriptions, or sometimes YouTube recommends you something that maybe you're interested in, but kind of unlikely, or you're searching something. Versus TikTok is just this monotonous, like, I like that, I like that. But probably, paid the least until now they've got this new like 60-second plus monetization that seems pretty good.
It's pretty decent, honestly. It does pay a little bit.
So then Snapchat was paying really well, and then I had a scare the other week that's now reversed.
Was it profile?
But I got restricted for clickbait, but it turns out it wasn't clickbait, because I don't clickbait my Snapchat videos. So I sent an email. I'm like, what is this? Like, I really don't clickbait. It turns out that having a thumbnail or a tile of behind the steering wheel, they think you're driving and filming with one hand, and the AI that scans them flagged it as clickbait.
AI scans thumbnails?
Apparently, yeah. So every single video I had, which was like driving this car, driving that car, which is exactly what the video is, got flagged as clickbait because of the behind the wheel.
Clickbait.
Yeah.
I'm currently flagged by Snapchat.
I got unflagged like yesterday.
There's tiles. Like right now I have a warning. I got banned for a month.
I still got a warning. Yeah.
Okay. Riley Reid interview banned me right in December. CPMs are the best.
No.
Right in December. And I had all these videos last year, and they go, no warning, nothing. They just go, banned for a month. And it was a podcast like this.
And did it tell you it was banned for a month? Because mine it didn't say a time. I thought it was gone.
I literally got an email from Snapchat from my rep at Snapchat. I think they hate me for some reason, even though I made them a lot of money. Like, it's like my biggest revenue driver is Snapchat. And they go, you are banned for a month. If you pull this shit again, you are banned for life. And I was like, wow. December 6th. I was like, are you kidding me? For people that don't know, it's like, that's when CPMs, clicks per mil, I guess, per thousand views.
Yeah, cost per milli. It's like cost per thousand.
Yeah, the Latin or whatever. Yeah, it's like, I'm like, I got screwed. So, okay. And what's your least favorite platform, would you say? Do you use X?
No. So maybe that's my least favorite.
Yeah,
I just logged on the other day.
They're paying Mr. Beast. Some people. They're paying some people. I was just chatting with the rep literally 30 minutes ago.
Really?
And I was like, how do you make money on here? And they're like, basically the whole conversation was, we don't really know yet. Like, they don't know anything. They don't know anything. Yeah.
The CPM seemed pretty whack for how many views he got.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I'm not getting a video that gets 250 million views.
No, I think they were pumping it too. Because even Mr. Beast on X was like, yeah, I think they're probably skewing this a little bit or promoting it.
I saw that.
Because the guy, literally the ex-employee on the phone goes, are you kind of doing this meeting because you saw the Mr. Beast thing? I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, we're getting that a lot right now.
So like, is that guy really, does he just understand the algorithm better than anything else? Or is he just fully in the Illuminati and part of YouTube?
Have you met him before?
No, I wish.
I did a video with him in Miami.
Yeah.
He is, people ask me is he cool or not? And I'll tell you he is just business. So I show up there in Miami. It's Pete Davidson's hanging out there. Tom Brady's hanging out. And I roll up there and I show up 4 hours early. We're on a $250 million yacht or 250 foot yacht, $50 million yacht. And he's the most hi, nice to meet you. Let's do it. And in one take in 5 minutes, we do the video. He says goodbye to me in the video. And he really says goodbye. He's like, see you later, man. Bye.
Wow.
I'm like, bye, Mr. Beast. And then he leaves. I'm like, hello?
Yeah. Just literally dips.
He's I think he's just a wizard, honestly. Yeah.
What a legend.
I do want to switch the conversation up to car conversation. And I want to know, I'm going to come off hot.
Okay.
Favorite car for aesthetics for you?
Okay.
Because I know, for me, Countach is not, the easiest to drive. But favorite looking car and favorite overall car, to drive.
Ooh.
Two different categories here.
Okay. Favorite overall car to drive, maybe McLaren P1. It's one of my favorite cars I've driven. Yeah. Okay. Man, favorite looking car.
That thing's a rocket, right?
Yeah, it's very fast.
As Manny would say.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a rocket.
Well, nice.
Eyes like rocket.
Favorite looking car? Maybe a Zonda R.
Ooh, me too.
But I haven't driven one. I would love to. But,
okay, I agree. Actually,
that doesn't come around too often. Hey, want to drive my Zonda R?
Have you? I saw one at Monterey. You've gone to Monterey pretty much every year. Monterey Car Week.
Yeah, I've gone 14 times.
Oh, what the?
The first time I went, my mom had to drive me because I was 15 and I couldn't.
And how old are you again? You're 20.
I'm 29.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
How old are you?
26.
Gotcha.
That's crazy. 14 times. Okay.
Yeah, every year minus when they canceled it for COVID.
Oh, whoa. Okay. That was before my time. Before I was a California boy. So P1 is your favorite and Zonda R. What is your least favorite car? What is the most overrated car of all time?
The most overrated car. I was going to say the most overrated car brand right now is Porsche.
Oh, okay.
It's an incredible car. They drive awesome. Some of the cars are the best ever.
I could agree with that, even though I own one.
The TikTok, Instagram hype.
The GT3 RS.
And the GT3 RS is okay, I get it. The car's fucking amazing.
You drove it. I saw a video.
Yeah. And it's amazing.
It looks crazy.
But it's not the only thing that's important in this world.
It has become it's the Wolf of Wall Street for movie guys.
Yeah.
Like frat guys.
100%.
The Porsche GT3 RS has become that for the car scene, I think.
Yeah. That's a wild comparison. I like it.
Doesn't kind of make sense,
It totally makes sense.
It's like people that are Christopher Nolan movies are the only movies I watch. That's the GT3. And I think it's amazing. I want one. I love Porsche. I love the GT4. But I agree with that, actually. So you think that's the most overrated brand? Is there any... Would you say GT3 RS is car? Give me another,
It's hard to say that it's the most overrated car because it is genuinely really good.
Yeah,
you know? So
you love driving it. It was fucking awesome.
Yes, it was awesome.
It looked really cool.
I will say that it doesn't have the level of feedback and driver involvement of previous generation cars. I think driving a 2011 or a 997 GT3 RS, it feels better. Or even the 991, the one that Cam has, the steering feels nicer. but you can't go as fast in it. Like you can feel the grip in the new one is
because it's like the amount of downforce is. I think you said more than a Senna, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's nuts. So you really feel like glued when you're driving it?
Yeah.
Okay. So it is good. It's just a little overhyped.
It's incredible. It just feels like the hype makes it feel like that's the only car that matters and everything else sucks.
Is there a brand that you'd say is, aside from Porsche, that is like in general, not right now, you think that the car scene is overhyped a little too much?
I think that before Porsche, it was BMW. Okay. That was like that's the only car that's good for drivers and whatnot. And I like BMW and I like Porsche.
Yeah.
But it just felt like that was everyone who was 16. It was
why is it? I feel like BMW is the diet Porsche before you have enough money.
100%. It's like I used to say that. Yeah, literally, it's like once you graduate in income level from BMW, you go straight to Porsche.
Yeah, it's like guys that want to have a Porsche and they can't afford it, and they're 17, 18, 19. They get their, well, I will say, like, I do really like the look of the M3, the new one, and like, BMW is interesting because they'll come out with a new car. That's a hot take. You don't like the new M3?
It's grown on me. I love the way it drives.
The buck tooth.
But the buck tooth is just a little... Because the G80 is a little...
I'll tell you, everyone hated it at the beginning.
Yeah.
I hated it too. But I think with BMWs, like, you kind of hate it and then you love it.
Yeah.
But
it's gotten better. And then Vorsteiner has a nice front grille for it that makes it look a little bit less like a beaver.
I think that's the most toxic fan base, though.
BMW?
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, Porsche does have like stands that like will rip your head apart if you say that a Porsche isn't the best.
Yeah.
But BMW, I feel like, is like, versus Mercedes. I'd probably pick a Mercedes over a BMW in general as a brand. If I had to wipe one off the face of the planet.
I think it depends. Every like 4 or 5 years, they like jump ahead of one another. Yeah. Like there was a period where it was like Mercedes interiors were so far ahead of BMW that it was like, what are you guys doing? And then, Mercedes is starting to do smaller and smaller engines, but now they realize that they can't do that and they're going back the other way. I think the new E63 is going to have a V8 in it, which would be
interesting. Nice. I don't love the electric looking. The
EQS is garbage.
Yeah,
that is why do auto manufacturers decide that if it's going to be electric, we're going to make it ugly?
Yeah,
just make it look like the S-Class and be electric.
Yes,
and bam,
it's done. Like this new thing. They're like, we have to make it's just like you can tell. Why can you tell it's electric just by looking at it?
Yeah.
I think 100%. Like, why does that have to be a thing where like, oh, that's an electric car?
Yeah,
I don't understand.
No, I agree.
Something they do.
I think BMW did a good job with that. With the i7 and the 7 Series look basically the same.
Yeah.
And Mercedes should have done the same.
Do you like Teslas? Are you a Tesla person?
That's a tough question. I mean, I have a Plaid. I loved it in the beginning. I'm a little bored with it. I anticipated being bored with it.
Yeah, I have a Model 3, not a Plaid, so I just have a Model 3. But
I think it's an amazing daily driver. If you just want something for transportation, you're sitting in traffic, you click a button, whatever. Yeah. It's not going to be a car that you take out for fun on the weekends or go in the canyons and whatnot. Yeah. It couldn't be my only car ever, no matter what. But
people hate on Tesla a lot. And
they hate on Tesla too much.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is over because I have a Model 3 and I like it. Obviously, the quality of build, a lot of people complain about that. And I do think it is cheap. It's a cheaper car. So you get what you pay for a little bit. But I do think like, as far as reliability goes, I never have any problems with it.
Yeah.
I never take it in for anything. So it's really like your mind's at ease having it. But yeah, it is kind of like just, a little go-kart.
Yeah. It's not an enthusiast choice of car, but every once in a while it's nice. Like commuting today, I went to a couple of different places that were far away and then came over here. And it's so much easier to just click a button and arrive than, driving a freaking, LaFerrari over here.
Yeah, I agree.
But if you're in the canyons, then might as well have something epic and loud. And
I wanted to do another car comparison, though.
Okay.
Ferrari versus Lamborghini. One is wiped off the face of the planet forever, which is crazy.
Oh, crazy.
Every single car is wiped off the face of the planet. You just have one brand that has existed.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one.
I think I'm going to keep Lamborghini and eliminate Ferrari because I would just be interested to see what that would do to all the people who are like just diehard Ferrari people and their whole culture of like, you need to buy a California to get a 488 to get a F8.
Fuck it.
That kind of bums me the hell out.
Yeah.
They make some incredible cars. I've had 2 Ferraris. I had an 812 Superfast and a Speciale Aperta. Okay. Some of the best driving, sounding, looking cars ever.
Yes.
But I think it would just be funnier if they disappeared.
Do you ever go to Casa Ferrari at Monterey Car?
I have been inside. Of Casa
you've been
Ferrari.
invited.
Yeah,
I think they hate me.
I don't know if I really was invited. I just like flashed this like media badge and then I think the guard didn't know what to do.
Oh, okay. So they weren't like, come to Casa Ferrari.
No, I've never gotten an email invite like, please.
I was about to
please.
say, I'm like, because I'm chatting with, who's I chatting with? Like Shmi or someone that's David Lee. Lee, who's the big Ferrari man. And like, it's like blue bloods. It's like the East, you know, like the rich, and like they don't associate with content creators like us.
Yeah, I mean, they set it up good. If you spend a lot of money with them and you're in with them, it's a pretty incredible situation. It's just when you're outside of the club, it's horrible.
Yeah.
But if you realize, like, I have some friends that are inside that club where they have an F50 and an F40 and a LaFerrari and like David Lee would be, I don't know him, but he would be one of those guys.
Yes. They made him a car. They really made him a one-on-one David Lee edition.
And it's like, if you don't screw them over and sell the car to somebody else, you sell it back to the dealer you got it for. I mean, you're just constantly making money off all these cars. You get a new 812 Competizione for $600,000-$700K, and then you hold it for 2-3 years, you sell it for $1.5 million, and then you get the next. It's just, and when they take you to these experiences, I've never done this firsthand, but they go all out. It seems like. Yeah. They make it nice.
Okay. So they treat you, if you're part of the Ferrari
if you're part of the like 100 millionaire billionaire part. If you just have like 1 or 2 cars that you bought it pre-owned like myself, they don't.
Because they can't walk in. All. Like a lot of people don't know, you can't just walk into a Ferrari dealership and buy a new Ferrari, right? You have to
pretty much
have to get a used one, suck their dick for a little bit, keep sucking their dick more and more. It's like Rolex, kind of how like you have to develop your relationship by like meeting with the person, getting a watch you don't even really want, to get another watch you don't want, to then eventually. But then I feel like there's even higher. You have to go higher.
I've been to these dealers, and it turned out the person I kept sucking their dick, they didn't even work at Ferrari. So
really?
It's just I didn't get any cars after that.
Oh shit. Okay.
It was really awkward.
I agree though. They do. they how much?
That didn't actually happen.
It's some random guy with like a Ferrari badge on.
He's like, we'll get you the allocation of the new LaFerrari. You just have to come around back.
Just around back, we'll reach around and we'll get you that LaFerrari for half off. I swear. I think I would probably get rid of Lamborghini if we're going off of just cars.
Sure, that's fair.
Because of how, I mean, I feel like Ferrari pumps out like 3 times more cars per year or different types of cars than Lamborghini, right? Like, what do we have recently? We have like the Revuelto.
That no one's gotten one yet. So pretty much, I mean, the last deliveries have been STOs, Technicas.
Okay.
And they finished the Ultimate run. So just a bunch of like a Urus Performante.
Yeah.
They definitely have less models. Yeah. But they also don't have models that no one actually cares about. Like I feel like with the Roma and and whatnot, they don't. That's just like a model they force people to buy.
Yeah, who is just like, I'm gonna go to the dealership and buy a Roma?
I don't know, but
I will tell you, I drove a Roma and I love driving.
Yeah, they're not bad. That's the problem.
I liked it, but it is like, it does have kind of like a girl.
Yeah, 100%.
Like the Roma,
100%. And I think that's how they sell it. Is like, here's the car, buy it for your wife. Yeah, and then maybe we'll let you. Yeah. So you got to give them props in some way for how insane their brand reputation and allure is to get these people to do that. Yeah. How about you buy a $300,000 car you don't want? Yeah. So you can pay more money for this car. That's crazy. Impressive.
They got it down. Honestly, they definitely got it down. So I don't know. Yeah, I agree though. Long story short, I think it would be funny to see the Ferrari fanboys. In the club just be like, oh, I don't know. Yeah. So you've driven like a lot of cars, done a lot of reviews. Is there any like horror stories you have of like these cars breaking down, or in general, what is the worst car you've ever driven?
The worst car I've ever driven. I think the most disappointing for how it looked versus how it drove experience was the Countach.
Oh, okay.
I love the way it looks. Sounds cool. Yeah. I didn't drive it in the best location, it was a pretty tight area. So
you're like in canyons trying to
yeah. But I was kind of like, oh man, really?
Yeah, it's my favorite looking car.
Yeah. It's like a tractor that's sexy as hell.
Yeah, and I've heard it's the worst car to fucking drive.
It's pretty bad. Yeah.
So it's really.
I mean, I've gotten pretty lucky. There's never been, knock on wood, never been any accidents or anything like that. But modified cars have had problems over the years. I had like this twin supercharged Ferrari. Something happened to one of the superchargers, which was a bummer.
Is that so? Because you modify? Did you modify it?
I didn't. The person who owned the car was heavily modified.
And then like, there's no warranty that you can pull it in there, so you just got fucked.
No, they honestly in that situation they were like, yeah, I think the car already had a problem, so it didn't.
And they didn't screw you.
I got fined. That would be bad if I reviewed like a UGR Huracan and it blew up or something. I got stuck with the bill. It's never happened, but that would be crazy.
Oh gosh, yeah. Like, cause I remember I was interviewing Doug DeMiro and I was like, have you ever had like an incident where like you've been driving a car and like you just like you scuff, like have you ever like scuffed someone's car while you're driving?
I haven't scuffed any cars.
I
had a situation where it was an aftermarket car. It had a bunch of aftermarket parts and the hood flew up on a car I was driving and smashed itself against a windshield.
Whoa.
And it was like really debatable because it turned out the safety latch was broken on the car anyways, and the hood was like cheap and bent. I ended up paying for it, but it was like, oh man, this is kind of a bummer of a situation.
Do you have special car insurance as like a car content creator that like goes around? Like, do insurance companies like want to jack up the prices because they know what you do, or is it still like?
I feel like it's reasonable for what I pay. Yeah.
So, but is it like special at all? Is it like, do you have like heightened level of like insurance?
Yeah, I feel like I forget exactly the number, $4 or $5 million coverage. Okay. So it's definitely more than normal.
That makes sense. I got to do that.
Randomly, there'll be events that I go to that require like standalone policies that are a ridiculous amount. So I've had to get like, I don't know, literally there's been like same day situations where it's like, to get close to this and get a photographer placard to be close on a racetrack, you need a $5 million plus policy. Whoa. So I'm like going on like insurance now.
Yeah. Insurance.com now.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't even think about that. Cause if you're driving like, I mean, like for example, I've driven like Devos and stuff like that. And it's like, what happens if someone lets you drive that and then you crash it? Like, what does your insurance company even say to you? Like,
I don't know. It hasn't happened yet, but I don't want it to.
Yeah, I'll knock on. I don't have wood near here, so it looks like.
I mean, there is a point where, like, if I drove a McLaren F1 or something and totaled it, it would be devastating.
I wouldn't even want it. Like, there's some cars now. I'll go to like Miami and stuff, and people like back in the day, they'd be like, "Come to Miami. I'll give you a rental car. You can drive it around for a couple days." Now, when I show up to Miami or other places where I travel, I don't do any of that because first of all, I don't need to promote for anyone, but also like. The stress of driving around in a new city, and also I've driven a million cars. I wouldn't like, and I don't know the environment. I'd rather be driving like a Camry around in some cities.
That's fair.
Cause like, I just don't like in LA, it makes sense cause it's like my home spot. I know where I'm going, but like if I'm in a new spot, I'm so stressed out while driving cause I don't know the roads and all that like I'd rather just have like a shitty car. Like it keeps my mind at ease, which, may dishearten some of like the car community there, but I'm like, I'm not fucking.
Well, I mean, Miami isn't exactly the place for driving nice cars because the roads are just not that great and they're all straight and whatnot. It feels like the ultimate flexing capital of the world. Yeah. But if you're a car enthusiast, it's not actually a great place to drive cars.
No. Yeah, it's true. Do you go to Miami often?
I've been a bunch of times, yeah.
Okay. What's like your home spot? Where you first of all, where are you from?
The Bay Area. So just north of San Francisco.
Do you have like a spot you film most content at aside that's not LA? Where's like your general stomping grounds? You go to Vegas a lot or like?
I go to Vegas often for different events that pop up, like CES or SEMA and whatnot. But I don't love Vegas. Okay. Honestly.
Do you gamble?
Like lightly.
Okay. So you're not like a fiend.
No.
Fiend. No. I'm kind of a fiend myself.
I kind of lost my shit last time I went to Vegas on blackjack, so I'm pretty over it at this point. But
what is the most that you've like gambled with in Vegas?
Seen like nothing.
Okay.
I mean, it's all relative, but like to me, it hurts so bad losing, and it doesn't feel that good winning. So like the last time I was there for CES, I lost like $1,000, and that to me is devastating.
Me too. Yeah, it is sad. Like,
like I've never lost like $100,000 or something. I think I'd be suicidal.
People will go there and drop like they'll lose like $50K or like they'll do huge hands like that. I am the same way where like if I lose like $500, I'm like bummed out.
Yeah.
Which is funny because like obviously like. we make like good money, but it's still all in, it's like the psychological aspect 100%. Of it all. Yeah, I agree. So I wanted to ask you, and it's kind of an interesting question, but if you were to pick a supercar, and there's like only a few in this price range, but what is the best supercar under $200,000 in your opinion? If you have a budget.
I think a 2015 Huracan. It's going to be super reliable. You can drive it. I mean, I owned a 2015 Huracan, bought it with 1,200 miles, sold it with 31,000, and 15,000 of it was supercharged. And it never had a single problem.
Whoa, okay.
So I think that's
you beat them up, Huracans?
I launched it so many times that I was one of the only people that I think anyways, that it deactivated launch control. Whoa. And nobody could confirm, like Motor Trend and Road and Track reached out to Lamborghini because they saw a video that I made that said I ran out of launch controls, and Lamborghini wouldn't say what the number was.
Whoa.
But it's like over 250 or 500 and the car just wouldn't launch anymore.
No way. It just said like you're not allowed.
No, it didn't even say anything. It just wouldn't go into launch control, and nobody could figure out why.
Like, fucked it up.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I mean, it went through hell and back and never had a problem.
Oh wow, okay. I was curious too. 488 versus Lamborghini Huracan.
I mean, a 488's a lot faster, but
what would you pick?
Maybe the Huracan. I don't love the way the 488 looks. I love the way the Pista looks.
Okay.
But just the base 488, I'd probably pick a Huracan.
Okay. I've driven both, and I like the driving actually of the Huracan more, and I like the looks of the 488 more. But,
fair. Yeah.
But yeah, the Huracan really does have like a, I don't know, it just feels a little more raw to me, honestly.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I agree. Do you like the Acura NSX?
Yeah. I think when it first came out, they were like a little overpriced, but used ones are pretty reasonable.
Yeah, because you can get like, it's kind of like an Audi R8 right now. Like you can get like used ones for what? Like pretend like a 2019 or something like that with like 20,000 miles. Like can't you get like I'll switch to Audi R8 like for like 130 now?
Yeah, 100%.
And that's just like a Huracan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a crazy car for the money. And it's just as reliable and looks cool. And the interior might even be better on the R8.
It's kind of like elements. I just got an Audi RSQ8 and versus Urus. And I feel like the interior I like more on the RSQ8 a little bit more. And it's like $100,000 cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same car with a different badge, basically.
Literally people call it the $100,000 body kit, which is literally true, which is crazy.
Yeah.
They detune them, though. It's kind of like Tesla, how they have like certain things that you can unlock by like paying money. Same vibe. Yeah.
Super interesting. You throw an exhaust and a tune on your thing, which in your situation, I'm sure you can get for free. And then boom, you've got a faster, louder Urus.
Yeah. I got an exhaust on the way. Actually, it's in that box right there.
Oh, heck
That's
yeah.
Fav Speed over there. Yeah,
nice.
Shout out Fav Speed for free. I was like, hell yeah. And they're like, yeah. Do you get like free stuff as well from like suppliers?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite perks of the job is people are like, oh, where do you go for wraps and exhausts and whatever? And it's like, first I make sure they're reputable, but I also go where it's free.
Yeah, dude, because I'm telling you, wraps is like the one thing where it's like, if you don't have someone that's skilled, they'll. Well, actually, I won't speak too much into it, but I had an incident with one of my wraps.
Stuff can go wrong.
Like they like fucked up my car.
Really?
They brought it to me. They had bubbles on it, huge bubbles, like the size of like my knuckles. And I was like, "What is this?" And they're like, "It's," and I'm like, "I can't even promote you guys. You have to like either redo it or like I gotta walk."
Yeah.
Damn. Have you had any like horror stories like that? As far as like,
thankfully not.
Okay, gotcha.
Trying to think. No, I don't think so.
Okay, so no one's
because I'm like I wouldn't just blindly go to a random wrap shop that's like, we'll do it for free without like either knowing people who have gotten wraps there before or knowing their reputation. But was this like a reputable, you don't have to say the name, obviously.
No, it was someone I met at a car show.
Gotcha.
Like a year ago, and it was before I got my GT4, and they were like, when you get your GT4, like we have this shop. And I thought it was like legit. I Google it, like, you know, it looks legit. And turns out like the one guy that wrapped it was like this young kid, basically. He was like 22, and it was like a spinoff of the actual company that his dad walked up to me. And it was like one of their first wraps. So I show up there and it's like, brutal. I go on their website. It's like meet the team. And it's like 3 kids. They're like 20 years old. And it's like, we specialize, it's like Tesla, wrap your Tesla is the whole thing.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, okay, they've never wrapped a GT4. So it was my nightmare. Yeah. So definitely I recommend to anyone, pay money for a good wrap.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I mean, there's some insane places in Los Angeles or the LA area for getting wraps.
Such good stuff. I want to ask too. So as far as the fastest speed ever in a car, what is the fastest you've ever gone and where?
What do you think the fastest I've gone is?
Bonneview, Salt Flats.
I've been there, but I haven't topped out a car there.
I bet you're in the 200 club, and I bet you've gone 200 and... Okay, I'm going to say fastest you've ever gone driving yourself, not in a car. I'm going to guess you've gone 208, 210, 207, final answer.
Okay. 216.
What the fuck?
I'm not going to say where it was, but it was in an 812 super fast.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I've been over 200 a bunch. And,
where on? So you won't tell me where on a highway though?
Yeah, it was on a highway.
I mean, I don't think you're going to get like arrested by the fucking speed police.
I've gone over 200 a handful of times, but the difference between 200 and 216 is wild.
Really?
Like, I'm sure it's different in a Chiron Super Sport or something that's really pulling at the top end.
Yeah.
But it was a stock it was my stock 812, and it took a long time to go from 200 to 216, and that whole time the adrenaline's crazy.
Aren't you just like to go from 200 to 216? Is it like you're going like 10 miles basically? Just like
it was a long time. I don't remember exactly because it was pretty much like just like please don't die. And then when I slowed down to freeway speeds, the differential in speed was so extreme. I felt like I could open the door and just walk out of the car. Going like 65 after going 216.
That's crazy. You said 216.
Yeah.
And that's in just a stock 812? What's the max on those?
216, 217, yeah.
Because how long did it take you to go from 0 to 216?
Well, I didn't start at 0. Probably started at like 90.
Okay.
I don't know, to be honest.
Dude, yeah, once you're in the zone. The fastest I've ever gone is 186 or 187 in my Porsche GT4, but it was like a week after I bought it. So I was surprised I could even, but you're just like, if you hit a bump, like or anything, it's over. It's so sketchy, honestly.
It's pretty sketchy. That was 4 years ago, maybe. And since then, I've never gone that fast again. It's just like, I don't know. I checked it off. It's not really worth it.
The 200, I would do that though. Like in the salt flats, it's like,
hell
what
yeah.
are you going to fucking hit?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Literally.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you could still
hit like a little
bump, right? And then it's a game over.
Or you're just like your wheel fucking. It's crazy because like if your wheel just decides to like come off, you're so dead. You're so dead. Yeah.
It's pretty dumb. So don't recommend.
Yeah. But it's crazy. I did a video at Gold Rush Rally, and I asked people what the fastest they've ever gone in, and literally, these are like 50-year-old like old ladies I'm talking to. Like every single one of them's like, 204, 205. 206, and you tell people that aren't in the car scene that, and they're like 120.
Yeah, no, it's unfathomable. They're like 83.
Yeah, like some of them are like, I've gone 100, and I'm like, but then you jump into this crazy rally scene because you go on rallies like pretty. You went on Gumball Rally, you went on like several rallies.
On a bunch.
Yeah, like it's like everyone is a adrenaline junkie, and they're getting arrested. Like I went on my rally, and like 2 people got arrested. Yeah, you're going on my Legends rally. People get like arrested, and they go to fucking jail, and like. It's just like a normal thing. Get a mugshot, pay money, get out. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah. It's a totally different scene for sure.
Yeah.
I love rallies.
I'm like, I'm kind of like.
If there's still spots left, sign up for his rally.
Yeah. They're like addicting, actually. It's kind of interesting because like when you're rallying with a group of people and you're just all going fast as a unit and like people have like radar jammers and people are doing crazy shit. I mean, not that we do anything like that.
It's a mob mentality, right? Everyone starts going and you're like, well, I mean, I guess they're not going to single me out. And then just everyone, And
if they do, everyone's fucking running anyway.
Yeah.
It's like a cannonball run.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah. I did a rally in Dubai and it was so nuts because there aren't many, it went all throughout the UAE. There aren't many police officers on the streets. It's mostly cameras. So everyone had Waze, which shows where the speed cameras are and radar detectors and whatnot. And it felt like Grand Theft Auto. It was like just unlimited.
Dude, I was just there too, like a week ago or a month ago. And some guy was going 100 with me, 130, 140 through a speed cam that was like 20.
That's not good at all.
They're crazy. Like they'll just arrest you straight up.
Yeah. No, like especially a lot of these rallies, they like supply rental cars for influencers or people who pay to go on the rally and whatnot. And like, you're screwed if you get.
What's crazy out there too, like I was chatting with the person that runs a car shop and they posted something on social media that was them showing off like doing something risky in a car. The government calls his phone.
Oh no.
Which is crazy. They call him on the phone and they go, you are banned from posting on social media for 6 months. If you do it again, you'll be jailed or whatever, or banned for life or something like that. And I was like, how do you know it's the government? He's like, it's like official. I'm like, what the fuck? They can
it's the government calling.
No, literally, they're like, if you do this shit again, which is insane. And that's just how it goes over there.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
What do you think of Dubai?
I had a great time there. I had good people there. It is like, you say Miami is one of the cities where, and it is, where people want to show off. Dubai, in my opinion, is like the grand fucking Budapest
it's
hotel.
pretty crazy.
You know, it's like the fucking mecca of that.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah. I loved it though. I had a great time because I was with some solid people, and you know, it's obviously everything's way over the top. I'm not a big Mansory guy, and they love that out there too.
They love that.
They love it out there, and they're fake Bravis kits too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I loved it. It was fun. What do you think of it?
So I've been a couple times. I think it's amazing for a week or two. I spent like a little over a month there once.
Oh, whoa.
And I mean, you're going to have a different experience every time, I guess.
Yeah.
I felt like it just felt a little soulless and a little weird towards the end. So
the girls
personally,
there too.
It's
80% escorts.
That's what it seems like.
Is.
You'll walk around the streets and there'll be like 1,000 like business cards on the ground with like women's faces.
It's like
on
happy ending massages.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I thought this was like a very religious place, but like I guess it's like it kind of gets swept under the rug there.
And I think there's this whole culture for people who weren't born there. Like all the people who are coming in for business basically kind of have different rules and standards for them. But I mean, for the car content, it's crazy. The dealerships are insane. The people there are, I found like the most friendly and stoked if you have a social media following.
Yes,
like they go over the top.
Yes. Yeah, like I went there and was like, you could do whatever I want. I went to like some like Prince's like private zoo out in the middle of nowhere. He just invited me, and I was like, I'm being kidnapped. I get rolled up on it's actually a guy that kind of does what do you do for a living content in Dubai, but he's actually cool. His name's Ayman. And he like rolls up with like 5 supercars. Yeah. All his friends are driving. He's like, drive it whatever you want. Drive a Bugatti, drive whatever. We'll go to a private zoo with the fucking sheik. I'm like, what the fuck? This is off an Instagram DM. Yeah. I just took the risk, and I was like, this is sick.
No, it's pretty crazy. I was at a track day once on a rally, and one of the guys goes, if you could have any car here right now to drive on the track, what would it be? And I was like, I don't know, a Carrera GT. And he goes, what color? And I was like, what?
Way.
And I was like, I don't know, yellow. And he goes, okay, no problem.
What?
And in an hour, a yellow Carrera GT shows up on a flatbed, and the guy's like, here you go.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then I go up to these random people. I think I was like feeling on top of the world at that point because I'm like, all right, anything's possible. There's these people testing a Formula 1 car at the track. And I just walked up. Car. Yeah. And I guess they were testing it to do a new experience where people could pay money to drive an F1 car.
Oh, whoa.
And I go, well, if you want some social media exposure, I'll happily drive your F1 car and talk about your business. And they like thought about it for a second. They're like, okay.
What?
And then I just drove an F1 car.
Oh my gosh.
It was pretty crazy.
Was it crazy driving?
It was nuts.
It's a legit F1 car.
A legit F1
Not like
car.
F2, F3.
No. 2001 F1 car,
Whoa.
Jaguar.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was nuts.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I almost cried. It was so horrifying and like awesome at the same time. It was
That's
nuts.
Nuts. What is like? I forgot to ask you. What is the most expensive car you've ever driven? As far as dollars go, where you're just stressing.
I don't know. I mean, I drove a Ferrari F50. Those are like $5 million plus. I drove a Wyra BC Roadster that was pretty specced out. Probably one of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do these people get in contact with you? They're just like, if they want you to, if you want to review a car, are you emailing outbound or are people emailing
I would say
you?
like 98% inbound.
Whoa. Okay. There's like Drive My Wyra.
Yeah. Review somebody, I'll meet them on the highest end stuff. They've like been a subscriber or whatever. And then I've met them in person at like Car Week or something. And they're like, oh, drive my thing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because I'm a little bit hesitant to just like fly out to somebody that I've never met before. But if they have like, a lot of these people now have crazy social media followings because of their car collections, and then it feels a little less insane. But usually subscribers reaching out or car companies reaching out.
Okay.
In the beginning, I used to just walk into dealerships and ask if the general manager was there and say, can I drive your cars and give you promotion? And like in the very beginning when I was 17, when I started there, like the first 9 dealerships said no. And then a Kia dealership was like, sure, you can drive a Kia Soul. And I was like, yes, let's go.
Oh,
like,
no
I was
way.
stoked at the time.
So that's how you got started. Yeah.
Yeah.
So your very first video doing a car as a Soul?
The very first review from a like friend or my own car or something was, I believe, a Kia Soul. Yeah.
Oh, nice. And back then, did you ever feel pressure? I guess I'm wondering, like, do you ever feel pressure to give a review that's like a little more soft, like if a dealership is letting you do it, or at the start, or does that like change since you've grown? Like, do you have more like leeway to be like basically, have you ever shit on a car?
Yeah, I absolutely have.
Yeah.
I think my whole thing throughout my career has been to be as honest as possible, because otherwise it's just useless information.
Literally, yeah.
So it does get difficult in certain situations, but I pretty much, if it's from somebody that I know is going to get bummed if I give a negative review and it'll like harm me, I just won't drive that car and I'll get it from someone else.
Okay.
Like if I want to do a negative video, I'll say it ahead of time to a subscriber who owns the car. Like, here, I'm going to make a video about the negative parts about this car.
Okay.
So if a certain brand offers me a car and I know I'm going to hate it, I'm like, oh, no.
You just won't do it. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense, honestly, because it's like, hey, like, we're going to arrange for you to do, like, the transportation.
Yeah.
Like, we'll get your, we'll set it up.
Yeah,
and,
let's, like, fly you first class and book you in a hotel so you can shit on this thing.
It is an interesting predicament to be in if you know you don't like a thing, but, like, it's the content you make, unless you just off the rip to a brand or just, like, if I like it, I like it. If I don't get fucking mad. Yeah. But it's, like, it is kind of, like, it puts you in, like, an odd spot.
100%. And I think a lot of people get sucked into the please everyone situation, and that's when the content's all BS.
Yeah, it's trash. It's like people that do like food reviews and make everything fucking good. I'm like, what is the point of you even doing this?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I think that's sick. Yeah. What is there anything you want to promote? Anything that you're working on right now? Give us the spiel.
Sure. Anything cool? I'm posting 3 to 4 times a week on YouTube, long form content.
3 to 4?
Yeah.
Whoa.
At the peak of my career, I was posting 7 days a week.
That is insane.
It was pretty gnarly. It was not like healthy.
That is,
but,
but
it was a time to be alive.
Now you got it in the bank. You got the bank, catalog.
But I think I did 2.5 years straight of daily vlogging.
That is sickening.
It was pretty wild.
I love it though. Wow.
But then Snapchat at Vehicle Virgins, Instagram Vehicle Virgins.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, thanks for popping on.
Thanks for having me.
Now I know what you do for a living.
Exactly.
We'll run a video. We're gonna run a video. 100%. I don't know how the fuck I haven't asked you, but yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Good sir.